All right, what's up, everybody? Tim Charron here. I'm a singer-songwriter, recording artist, and actor, and I own a booking agency, and I also help actors and singers, songwriters, recording artists, bands do better in their businesses and their careers and book better gigs. This podcast is going to be all about my evening this past weekend at the Grand Ole Opry, going backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. It's also going to be about the power of proximity. So, I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, about a year ago, and this is, just one of the massive benefits of living in a major music and now production, TV and film acting hub. So, so I've been going back and forth to Nashville for many, many years. I used to live here. I lived here for about a year and a half back in like 2010. So I have a lot of friends, and I've been coming back so often that I have a lot of connections and friends and people in the music business and people, people in general. So, but it is just incredible what has happened since I moved here. So let me know if you're listening and watching, if you are considering moving to Nashville, or you're trying to figure it out, or if you're considering moving to like LA, if you're an actor, I guess maybe, pop music in LA, or if you're considering moving to like a major market, I guess. But of course, for music, there's no place like Nashville, and it's absolutely incredible. Also, I'm going to post this as a video podcast, so as well as an audio podcast. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, check out the video podcast on YouTube, because I'm going to put in some videos of the other night to show you guys exactly what was going down. So it was absolutely incredible, but it's a testament to, doing the work and building your career and really taking it seriously and trying to be as great at your craft as you possibly can, whether that's acting or singing, songwriter, musician, whatever it is, and always, for lack of a better word, networking. I really consider it finding new friends all the time, and then working, establishing relationships and new friendships. Actually, this is the perfect example. This story is the perfect example of just that. And instead of actually going out and networking, I have to find the right people and I have to get something from these people. I really look at it as going around throughout my daily life and going to events and going and supporting people that I want to have friendships with, and then fostering the working relationship after you forge a friendship. Anywho, so here's the gist of it. So went backstage to the Grand Ole Opry for the third time since moving here. Okay. And I got to hang out with Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune, Trace Adkins, and Brad Paisley, and Whispering Bill Anderson, who was the person that I went there to meet. So let me back up and tell you the story of how I've been to the backstage at the Grand Ole Opry 3 times since moving here. So the first time was last July, from opening for Crystal Gale. She had a bunch of hits in the late 70s and early 80s. She sang Don't Let Your Brown Eyes Blue. So I opened for her like 12 years ago. We became friends with Crystal and her husband and her family. So we've hung out a bunch of times, and they invited me to the Grand Ole Opry because she was playing there like once a month. So we went to that. It was absolutely incredible. Got to hang out with Crystal and her family backstage, and got to kind of be part of the rehearsal before they went on. They rehearsed in their dressing room the songs that they were going to play, and I got to sit in on those rehearsals and sing some harmonies. So that was pretty amazing. Then the second time I went to the Grand Ole Opry, I was working actually as a photo double on a Hallmark movie, photo doubling for Brad Paisley. So that was nice. I went back to the Grand Ole Opry, and it feels kind of like a second home, because it's so comfortable there, and everybody that works there makes you feel so comfortable backstage. So it's incredible. So this third time was magical. So I have a friend of mine, once again, somebody who I just became friends with. His name is Lee. He manages Whispering Bill Anderson, legendary recording artist, country recording artist, and a legendary songwriter. So Lee and I had been friends on Facebook just through mutual friends for years, for many, many years, and just kind of followed each other. And like, I'd always see what he was doing. I'd comment on it, and he would see what I was doing. Then when I moved here, through a mutual friend, we kind of realized that we were hanging out with the same people, going to the same places. So I just shot him a message. I was like, hey man, I was at the football game with Anthony Smith at the Titans game. I saw that you were there. We should have, connected. And then, we were like, oh, well, let's grab a beer sometime this weekend or something. So that we did that, hung out, started talking. So he wanted to introduce me to Whispering Bill Anderson, because Whispering Bill Anderson is working on a movie for Hallmark, and Lee wanted to see if there's any possibility of me, working on that project with Whispering Bill. So, but the whole idea is that this will never happen anywhere but Nashville, in music, in the music business. So it's just absolutely incredible. Since I moved to Nashville, literally within 1 week of me moving to Nashville, from all of the professional equity that I've built up, and touring all over the place, but always posting on social media, and always coming back and touching base with everybody in Nashville. Once I moved, the opportunities really just have exploded. So I just want to encourage anybody who, if they are considering moving to somewhere like Nashville, to start planning it and really make sure you do it, because proximity is power. It's just everything. And it took me a long, long time to make this move. I wish I had done it earlier, but we all have life circumstances that we have to figure out. So I would just encourage you, if you're considering it, to start planning it, and the best way, I believe, is to start come here for a week, go out, see what it's all about, check out all the venues, go and meet people, network, meet new friends, and, do that. Many people, including me, do that for years. So there's got to be a balance. I would suggest, if you're thinking about moving to Nashville, start making a plan to come visit and see if you like it, and see if it's even something that you want to invest your whole life into moving here. And then, start coming, and then, start like looking around at neighborhoods, looking around at apartments, at pricing, maybe look for a job so that you have something when you get here, depending on your situation, stuff like that. But definitely start planning the move, because it's so important. It's just a million times more effective when you're here. So I'll tell you about my night. Okay, the story goes like this. Absolutely incredible. So Lee, my friend who manages Whispering Bill Anderson, and his partner, business partner Dave, they're producing a what do you call it? Biography, a documentary on Whispering Bill Anderson. So they have all these celebrities that they're interviewing for the documentary. So I go to the Opry by myself, get all dressed up, wore my blue suit, my blue Miami Vice suit, because I wanted to look good, And that's the other thing. That's one little side thing that I just want to talk about. Like, when you're going out or you're on stage performing, always try to dress the part. Always try to dress up. You don't want to be the most underdressed person in the room. You kind of can't be the most overdressed person in the room. I saw a few people at the Grand Ole Opry backstage that were in like Crocs and freaking cut off shorts and t-shirts. And I don't know. I think it's kind of disrespectful. But anywho, I just find that when I dress up and really nice, I feel great. When I wear a suit, I feel great. And then people respond to me, and tons of people made many, many comments on my silly teal blue Miami Vice suit. So there you go. People treat you, trust me, we all know that this is a fact, okay? If you walk into a room, especially with important people, VIP people, and you're wearing Crocs and cutoffs and a t-shirt, they're going to treat you one way. And then if you walk in that room and you're wearing a tuxedo or a 3-piece fitted suit, do you think they're going to treat you differently? Okay, so we go back, and so the cool part about this whole situation is that we go to the Grand Ole Opry with the intention of me meeting Whispering Bill Anderson to, lay the groundwork to hopefully do some acting in the film for Hallmark that he is writing for. But also, Dave and Lee and their camera crew were shooting interviews for the documentary. So very cool. Pat Sajak from the Wheel of Fortune was there. Because he has a lot of ties to Nashville and the Grand Ole Opry. And so he went out on stage and talked and everything. It was very cool. So in the process of, I was just kind of helping them coordinate getting the interviews set up in the dressing rooms. And so I was hanging out, and Pat Sajak was there, and he asked me if they were ready for him. And I was like, oh, do you want me to go, ask them if they're ready? And he's like, oh, why don't we just walk back there? Can you show me where the dressing room is? So I brought Pat Sajak back to the dressing room that they were shooting in, and we were talking on the way and just chatting it up. So it was very cool, super nice guy. Absolutely awesome. Then I hung out, for the interview and everything, and talked to him a little bit after the interview. Then, basically the same thing kind of happened with Brad Paisley. So it was very cool because Lee, the manager of Whispering Bill, he introduced me to Brad Paisley as, hey, Brad, this is Tim Charron. He works on 911 Nashville with your wife, because Brad Paisley's wife works on 911 Nashville. And so Brad and I had a little discussion about that. He's like, oh, congratulations on, getting renewed for season 2. And all that stuff. And then I told him, yeah, I also worked as your photo double here at the Grand Ole Opry for the Hallmark Christmas movie, which was cool. So it was very nice. We got pictures together, all that stuff. Then they brought in Trace Adkins, and it was very cool. Lee introduced me to Trace, and then I said, hey, Trace, great to meet you. I opened for you a couple of years ago in Massachusetts. And he was like, oh, at Indian Ranch, right? So he remembered. So we had this whole conversation about that. And he told me a story about something that was pretty wild that happened at Indian Ranch the day that I opened for him. So it was very cool. So with each person, I got to have like a little one-on-one time, and kind of like a really cool, especially with Brad Paisley and Trace Adkins, have this connection, because I stood in as a photo double for Brad Paisley, and his wife and I both work on 911 Nashville, and then I opened for Trace Adkins, and it was very cool that he remembered the venue. And Indian Ranch is my favorite venue in the whole world to play, and I love all the people there and the staff, and I'm good friends with the owners. So it was very, very, very cool, like instant bonding with these, great, iconic celebrities and musicians. So it was absolutely incredible, and obviously a huge shout out to Lee for setting this all up and inviting me, and kind of like trusting me to, be the kind of person that is comfortable to have in such a, VIP kind of setting. So thank you to Lee. But, I just wanted to tell these stories because it's extremely fun and it's exciting, and the possibilities and the opportunities that are springing up like this and from these situations are absolutely amazing and incredible. And I just want to leave you all with just the incredible importance of, which again, I wish I had done this a long time ago, but I feel like I'm in a great position in my own personal development and career to now really take advantage of all the opportunities that are coming to me. So, but I would just encourage everybody to really start planning the move to Nashville or to Los Angeles or to New York City or to, depending on what you do, if you're an influencer, Miami, which is my second home. And I feel like I grew up in Miami Beach. I love it there. But yes, being in Nashville, it's so incredibly important. It's almost you're almost a non-entity if you don't actually live here. So having said all of that, let me know if you're thinking about moving to any one of these places, especially Nashville, Tennessee. And yeah, let me know if I also do very exclusive one-on-one coaching. So send me a message if you want me to consider you to be a client, where I basically help you with everything from booking better gigs, and it's coaching. I'm not going to do the things actually for you. I'm not going to be your booking agent. I'm going to help you in your whole career and strategize on how to take the next steps to get to the next levels, and how to develop you, whether it's acting or music. I mean, I'm doing both professionally, and I can definitely help you develop and get to the next level and the next level and the next level. So, but I'm only taking on 2 clients. That's it. So it's very exclusive. So send me a message, DM me, find me, NashvilleHits@yahoo.com. You can email me, and we'll go from there. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, and if you're getting any value from this, make sure you subscribe. I need to get as many subscribers, especially on YouTube. I need to get over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and share the message. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.